We're
Let's
live.
see if I can hear it. I know there's a delay. Okay.
There's a delay, yeah.
Great.
Hi, can everyone see us and hear us?
Great.
I make faces. I need to stop. Sorry. Hi, everyone.
Hello, everyone.
Hi. I know there's like a delay when it comes to the chat and speaking, so we're just gonna wait a little bit to make sure that you can hear us. This is already so much fun.
Sunlit Life Studios says hi, Mia.
Oh, hi. You know my name.
I'm not sure who Sunlit Life Studios is, but hello.
Oh, I can hear. Okay, good, great. All right, awesome. So thank you so much for joining us tonight. And so we're gonna start off with our quick spiel, and then we're gonna get into topics. So without further ado, we'll start it off with Gray.
Hi, welcome to nAGLY Live.
What's nAGLY? We're a youth-run group in Salem, Mass. for LGBTQ youth. Please check us out at nagly.org. So many people have expressed how much they love our group, so we decided to go virtual. Think of us as a digital GSA, but we also have a home base.
So nAGLY Live is going to run every other Thursday from 7 to 8, or however long we can get topics going. And if you feel that 1 hour is not enough, you can always catch us on our other social media outlets. And we're on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Our username is North Shore nAGLY. Somebody just had to name their child nAGLY, so we couldn't use that name. So that's North Shore nAGLY.
And before we start off, we're going to go through some quick guidelines before we get into our content. So our target audience are youth, technically ages between 10 and 18. All of our content will be anonymous. We will not be using real names. We have a zero tolerance policy in the chat. We will be banned for being mean. So if it's not nice, don't say it. Our content is PG-13 with occasional cursing, but not at anyone or to each other, and no copyright content will be shared.
So a little disclaimer, we'll be covering some topics that some viewers might find sensitive or uncomfortable. The views of individuals featured in our live sessions aren't necessarily a full representation of nAGLY's thoughts and opinions. With that being said, viewer discretion is advised. Do not sue us, please. None of us are trained social workers. We somehow made it to adulthood, and we're speaking from experience.
Perfect. Okay, so now we're going to get into introductions. So I'll start with myself. My name is Mia. I am 31 years young. My pronouns are she, her, hers, and I'm one of the adult advisors at nAGLY.
And my name is Gray. I am 30 years old. I use he, him, or they, them pronouns, and I am a social work intern at nAGLY.
Hey, I'm Jess. I'm 26 years old. I use she, her, and hers as pronouns, and I'm an adult advisor at nAGLY.
Awesome. So now we're going to get into our qualifications. So in terms of the LGBTQ plus community, I identify as the L for lesbian.
And for me, I identify as the T for trans and the Q for queer.
I identify as the B for bisexual or pansexual.
Awesome. Great. So thank you so much for being here, Haley. I'm so glad that you're on. So Haley is my niece. And I told her about it. And I'm so excited. Yay.
Yay.
So the first topic that we're going to get into, and feel free to get into the chat and just, talk with us. The more people we can get engaged, the better. We're going to talk about mac and cheese. Yes, we're going to talk about food, the food of life. So specifically, we're going to talk about toppings. What do you like in terms of toppings for your mac and cheese? So we'll start off with Gray.
Cool. So I am particular with my mac and cheese. I could talk about this for hours, but I will be succinct and say that I like broccoli in it. all chopped up, and I like vegetarian hot dogs in it, not real hot dogs. Because I was vegetarian for 10 years. It was a thing. I ate it all the time. The end. Thank you.
And Jess, how about you? How do you like your mac and cheese?
I guess I would say with extra cheese, just like a ton of cheese.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's awesome. So I like my mac and cheese with peas and carrots because I like it sweet, and I feel like when it's in the oven, it just, gets nice and crispy. It just makes it that much better.
I'm gonna have to try my mac and cheese with vegetables sometime soon.
Yes. Yay. I hope you do. And let us know what you think too.
Yeah, I will.
The vegetable live stream. Are we just pushing vegetables on people?
We should have like a mac and cheese day at nAGLY now. Like just everyone brings in different mac and cheese. Right. I would totally love those, to try those like vegetarian hot dogs. But are they vegan? Because I actually am vegan too.
Good question. I'm sure there has to be some kind of vegan hot dog somewhere in the world. But
nice. So Kaylee is saying that she likes mashed potatoes and gravy and popcorn chicken and vegan mac and cheese. Yes.
Nice.
Vegan mac and cheese, the bomb.
We have a special guest. This is Luna.
Aw. Hello.
Oh, Luna. Hi, Luna.
There you go. Luna, look at the camera. Yeah.
Aw, so cute.
Somewhere else. Go. Bye.
I heard your door open too, and I was just like, oh, I wonder what that is. And then it was the cat.
Yes, she makes opening noises. Yeah, there was no door. That was just her.
Oh, okay.
Awesome. So the next thing that we're going to talk about is it's going to be LGBTQ related. And it, when people talk about this, some people don't think about the LGBTQ community. And I feel like, at least I read somewhere that this started like about 8 years ago, at least it started to be a trend. It's called gender reveal parties. Does anyone in the chat ever heard of a gender reveal party? I know right now it's only Haley, so. Haley, have you ever heard of a gender reveal party?
It says there are 7 people watching too.
Oh, there's 7 people watching.
Yeah.
Secret.
Ooh, feel free to, chime in and chat with us. We'd love to get your feedback.
Yeah.
So gender reveal party. So what that is, it's I'll explain what that is. It's basically a party that 2 parents or parents want to reveal the sex of their soon-to-be born child. So gender is actually a social construct. But what the gender reveal party is to say, whether the child is born with either a male or a female genitalia. But they call it a gender reveal party because sex reveal party doesn't really leave a good taste in someone's mouth, I guess. So that's what a gender reveal party is. It's typically, after there's an ultrasound involved and the doctors figure out what the sex is going to be. And so they'll have this party. It's typically before even the baby shower happens. So it's just like an extra party to celebrate life. So in terms of these gender reveal parties, I wanted to get your opinion about, what it is, like, how do you feel about gender reveal parties? So I guess we can start off with Jess.
Oh, with me? Okay.
Yes. So what are your thoughts about gender reveal party?
I don't know. I don't really particularly like the idea of gender reveal parties. I think they can be a little bit controversial in terms of the fact that it's just talking about 2 genders, first of all, like male and female, or like they don't even say male, female. They say like boy and girl, like it's a boy or it's a girl. And then, so there's that. And then there's the fact that like they generally use like predetermined colors for the boy and the girl, you know? So they'll use like blue for the boys and pink for the girls. So I don't really enjoy that. But
I completely understand. Yeah. And how about you, Gray? What do you think about gender reveal parties in general?
I mean, the way that they are now, I feel like it's pretty gross. Like we don't need to reinforce the gender binary. We don't need to reinforce that a male-bodied person gets blue stuff and a female-bodied person gets pink stuff, and all that's bogus to me. But I do enjoy what some of my friends have done when they've come out as trans, is that they have their own gender reveal party, just like
That's
celebrating
cool.
the person that they are. And it doesn't have anything to do with color or anything like that. It's just like a funny spin on gender reveal parties.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I appreciate that. I also don't like that recently there was a gender reveal party where I think it was like a US Border Patrol agent had one for his family, and he started like a 100-acre forest fire somewhere in Texas.
What?
Floating
That's
kind of
terrible.
to find out that he's having a male-bodied child. So that's also ridiculous.
That's pretty interesting. So I'm gonna
I just see that Danny joined in the chat.
Hi, Danny.
And Tech Valor as well. Danny says, when I have a gender reveal, the cake is going to be green. Then I'm going to bring out a PowerPoint presentation on gender. I think that's wonderful, Danny.
I think you should totally do that.
Yeah, I think you really should.
I would totally go to the gender reveal party. No
Me
lie.
too. That would be the one gender reveal party I would go to.
Yeah. So I'm kind of on the same track as the both of you when it comes to gender reveal parties. Real quickly, I've been to one, and I will say I felt very uncomfortable there. Not because, you know, like I'm all for celebrating everything, you know, everything that it is about life and birth, but they had me choose team girl versus team boy. And I just felt that was really uncomfortable for me. And I mean, you know, there's even like at baby showers, you know, they're gonna make you do like really embarrassing stuff, like eat the fake poop out the diaper or something like that. But I feel like at this gender reveal party, they were telling me to choose. And like I saw, you know, like the grandmother, and she was like, oh, she better have a girl. And, you know, then it was like the mother and the father were kind of like versing each other as to, you know, whether they wanted a boy or a girl. And it also made it made me feel kind of sad because, like, you know, because they posted this on social media. And so who knows where social media is going to be in the long run, right? So I feel like if I was their child and I was born and I would see this gender reveal party, I'm like, oh, you wanted me to be a boy, or you really wanted me to be a girl? Like that would make me feel sad. So that's how I feel about gender reveal parties. And, you know, seeing the pushing the stereotype, right, about, you know, like, I don't know, I've seen like glitter versus guns or bow ties versus bows. Like, you know, again, what you were saying about reinforcing those gender norms. And, you know, what if your child doesn't like sports? What if your child doesn't like bow ties? And, you know, to know that you would be pushing that for them, or that as a parent, that's what you want for your child. You know, I feel like we shouldn't push things onto our children, right? They should make the decision for themselves. And, you know, eventually they're gonna make the decision for themselves. So, yeah. Other than that story, have you seen any other like gender reveal parties, or have you been to a gender reveal party before?
I've never been to one. Yeah.
How about you, Jess?
I've never been to one in person, but I saw one on Facebook Live once. And honestly, like I was really happy for the person, but because I know them very well, you know. But at the same time, it was kind of like a little bit awkward because I don't like the idea of them, you know, as I described earlier.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And it's not like guessing a baby's sex or gender is a new thing. Like that's been going on for forever. Like in all sorts of cultures and whatever. So it's just that this awful but very American thing that we've created this new monster of, you know, ink-filled cakes or blue-filled cakes, and it's like, or forest fire boxes, you know, whatever. So it's like the concept of it doesn't bother me. It's understandable that people get excited about their families growing and get excited about new people in their lives, and like want to know that information before it's available. But just the way that Americans have taken that out of control is a little over the top.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think if I were to conceive a child, I think I'd probably do the same thing that Danny would do. Like, I'd have a gender reveal party and I wouldn't reveal anything. Like, even like I said before, like if I were to, you know, conceive a child and I were to have a baby shower, I wouldn't reveal the sex, because I would just say, just give me a gift that you think will look beautiful on a child. And I will dress them up in all the clothes that anyone gives me because you think it's beautiful, not because my child was born with a certain sex.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Going off of what Gray was saying earlier about the like different cultures and stuff like that, there's this book called Middlesex, and I don't know if y'all have read it, but basically I didn't actually read the whole thing. I just read part of it, but toward the beginning of the book, the grandmother, I think, is like talking to the mother and saying like, oh, I think your child's going to be like a girl, but like, and then when the child's born, it's like a boy, but they're really trans, you know? So it was interesting. Yeah.
So what are some of the myths that you've heard when someone is was pregnant with a baby to determine what sex it is? Have you heard of like any myths?
I've heard of some, but I honestly can't think of them right now, like off the top of my head.
I know, I remember people talking about like the way that like the pregnant person is showing, like orientation of the baby is like indicative of the sex of the baby, which sounds bogus to me because all body shapes are different. Again, everything is bogus according to Gray, apparently. And like, what else? That's all I can. That's the only one I can really remember. But I know I've heard a bunch of other wacky things. Yeah.
I'm gonna say this, hoping that this is PG-13, but I've heard like the color of your nipple determines whether you're gonna have a boy or, I mean, you know, a male or female genitalia.
Oh yeah, I think I've heard both of those actually. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
People know that there's like many colors of nipples.
Yeah, exactly. But
no.
So I wanted to take this time for people in the chat. If you wanted to, like, you know, you can totally have this conversation with us, or you can listen into us. If you'd like to, you can talk to people in the chat as well. And while you're here, take the opportunity to, you know, like this video. And if you can also go to our page, or I think if you scroll down to the bottom, just subscribe and then hit the bell. So that way you'll be notified of when the next nAGLY video is going to show. Does anyone in the chat want to chime in at all? I know there's a delay, so I'm going to give like, you know, 30 seconds at least.
Oh, cool. Tech Valor says they subbed. Thank you.
Thanks. And just so you know, we are trying to get 100 subscribers. So if you can encourage other people to also subscribe for us, We're trying to get 100 subscribers so that way we can get a custom URL for us. Most likely it'll be North Shore nAGLY, so we can keep it all the same.
Mm-hmm.
So Tech Valor says, I heard the type of food you crave determines the sex of the baby. Ah, that's interesting. I actually never heard of that one before.
Hmm.
So it's like, if I'm craving watermelon, then I'm going to have a really tall boy. It's just like, like, how does that work? It's like, is that, oh, you're eating a lot of pickles? That's definitely going to be a girl. So that's really the topics that we wanted to talk about tonight. So this is our first live. So we're hoping that we can get some feedback from our audience as to what future topics we should talk about. And so the best way to do that is you can send us like a message through YouTube, or you can email us at youtube@nagly.org, and I'll put that in the chat.
Danny said something funny.
Oh, I wrote that wrong. What did he say?
He said, when you crave blood, your baby's not of this world.
Definitely not.
Oh, I think you spelled YouTube wrong.
I did. Sorry. I had one job.
Yeah, it's definitely important to talk about current events, I think, too. Definitely.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, we're trying to see if we can incorporate like more current events, like trends that are happening, you know, if it's LGBTQ related, or even just, you know, like youth related, right? Like, I would love to talk about like different dance challenges that are happening. It'd be cool if nAGLY could like do a dance challenge and we could just like upload them, you know, ones that are not dangerous.
Ones that I can dance to that are possible for me.
Okay, great. So if we have, does anyone have anything that they want to bring up or talk about? If not, then we can totally, you know, end this session. So I'll give like 30 seconds in the chat, see if anybody wants to say anything, or Gray and Jess, if you want to chime in.
I don't think I have anything else to say.
Okay.
Yeah.
How about you, Gray? You're smiling. So.
Yeah, I no, gender reveals are.
Yeah. So Tech Valor asks, will we be doing this every Thursday? We will not be doing it every Thursday. We are aiming for every other Thursday. And it's from 7 to 8, or however long the discussions are run, until we run out of things to talk about.
Yep.
I guess one other relevant note I could make is that on Instagram, you can look up someone named Aiden Dowling. At his username is A Lion's Fear. I'll try to type that into the chat while I'm talking. But he just had a baby with his wife, and he's a trans man. And they made the decision to find out the sex of their baby and to reveal that, but not in a gender reveal party way. They just thought it was a good choice for their family to do that. And it turned out that they were having a male baby, and they're going to raise that baby as a boy. And they're trying to be really intentional about doing that in a way that lets that baby have like a full range of emotion and like experience all of the colors and like play with all of the toys, and not be limited in the same way that a lot of boys are raised to be limited in what they're allowed to play with, and like when they're allowed to cry, stuff like that. So I think wonderful. That it's just a really interesting way to look at that. And like some people who are trans choose to raise their babies without gender. And I think this is a interesting profile to check out if you're interested in seeing a family with a transgender member as part of it, raising their baby with gender involved.
Oh,
That's really cool.
awesome.
Yeah.
I will definitely be following that.
Yeah.
Me too.
That's
Yeah.
so cool. And you said that was on Instagram?
Yes.
Right.
Yep.
Tech Valor says, when I have my next child, I won't do a gender reveal party. Awesome.
Nice.
Nice.
You can do a baby reveal party.
Right. That's a good idea, actually. It's funny.
Awesome. Okay, so I guess we can start off with our real talk. I played with Barbie and Power Rangers and it turned out just fine. This is by Tech Rant Live. Awesome. Good. It's good to play with both. Why not?
Yep.
And you didn't need a gender reveal party for that.
No.
Okay, great. So I think it's time for our closing.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Let's see.
Tell me when you're ready so I can do it. So we're harmonious in this.
Okay, I'm ready.
And I'm ready.
Great. This is nAGLY.
And remember,
You are loved.
Aw.
oh,